confidence is built through connection. Ready to boost your social skills and start conversations that make a real impact? This audiobook is crafted to equip you with the skills to overcome social anxiety and engage with anyone, anywhere. Start listening, and you'll soon find yourself confidently building connections that enhance your life. Master of Small Talk. This book was written and published by Mindset Audiobook.
Introduction. Imagine walking into a room full of strangers, your heart racing, palms sweating, and the weight of silence pressing down on you. Did you know that nearly 70% of people experience anxiety in social situations, often leading to missed opportunities for connection? The truth is, feeling awkward in conversations is more common than you might think. Yet many struggle in silence. What if I told you that the key to mastering small talk and building meaningful relationships lies within you, waiting to be unlocked? In this book, I will guide you through that very journey, transforming your social fears into confident connections. Social anxiety and communication challenges are pervasive issues that can impact both personal and professional lives. Many individuals find themselves at a loss for words during conversations, feeling trapped in a cycle of awkward silences and missed connections. This inability to engage effectively not only hinders relationships, but can also lead to feelings of isolation and self-doubt. Understanding how to navigate these challenges is essential for fostering meaningful connections and enhancing overall well-being. By the end of this book, you will undergo a profound transformation in your communication skills. You will learn actionable techniques and strategies to engage in conversations with confidence, break through awkward moments, and build authentic rapport with others. With practice, you'll discover that effective communication is not just about the words you say, but about the connections you create. In the upcoming chapters, you can expect to dive deep into essential communication skills, including active listening, the art of asking open-ended questions, and the use of I statements to express your thoughts effectively. Each chapter will equip you with practical tools and exercises designed to enhance your conversational abilities. We will explore real-life scenarios, share relatable anecdotes, and uncover the hidden truths behind successful communication. Get ready to embark on a journey that will transform your small talk into powerful connections. Chapter 1. Understanding the Art of Conversation. Conversations become memorable when they resonate on an emotional level. People remember conversations that made them feel understood, valued, and connected. When you share a story, an experience, or even a simple thought that sparks interest or laughter, it creates a lasting impression. This emotional engagement is what keeps the dialogue flowing and prevents awkward silences. Memorable conversations often involve vulnerability, where individuals share personal thoughts or feelings, creating a sense of intimacy. When you open up and encourage others to do the same, you foster an atmosphere where meaningful exchanges can happen. It is this emotional connection that turns an ordinary conversation into a moment worth remembering. Building rapport is essential for establishing a comfortable and engaging dialogue. Rapport is the sense of connection that makes people feel at ease with one another. When you take the time to find common ground, whether through shared interests or mutual experiences, you create a strong foundation for conversation. This shared understanding encourages openness and honesty, allowing both parties to feel more confident in expressing their thoughts. When rapport is present, conversations flow naturally, as both individuals feel comfortable to explore different topics without fear of judgment. Creating rapport is a skill that can be developed, and it begins with being genuinely interested in the other person. Ask questions, listen actively, and respond thoughtfully to build that vital connection. Active listening is another crucial component of effective communication. It goes beyond simply hearing the words someone says. It involves truly understanding the message being conveyed. When you practice active listening, you focus fully on the speaker, making them feel valued and important. This means avoiding distractions and showing genuine interest in their words. Simple gestures like nodding or maintaining eye contact can demonstrate your engagement and encourage the speaker to continue. Additionally, active listening involves asking clarifying questions to ensure you grasp the full meaning of what is being said. By doing so, you show that you care about their perspective and are invested in the conversation. This not only enhances the quality of the dialogue, but also strengthens the connection between both individuals. Moreover, active listening helps create a positive conversational flow. When one person listens attentively, it encourages the other to share more openly and deeply. This exchange of ideas can lead to richer discussions and more profound insights. When you listen without interrupting, you create a safe space for the speaker to express themselves fully. This openness can lead to discovering shared experiences or feelings, which can further deepen the connection. In this way, active listening not only benefits the listener but also the speaker, enhancing the overall quality of the interaction. The combination of these elements, memorable conversations, building rapport, and active listening, creates a dynamic and engaging dialogue. By understanding what makes conversations enjoyable, you can approach social situations with confidence. Each conversation offers a chance to connect, share, and grow. Embracing these principles allows you to move past anxiety and engage in meaningful exchanges with others. This transformation can lead to stronger relationships and a more fulfilling social life, making every conversation a potential opportunity for connection and understanding. Creating emotional comfort is essential for any meaningful conversation. When individuals feel at ease, they are more likely to share their thoughts and feelings openly. This comfort can be established through body language, tone of voice, and empathetic responses. A warm smile or a nod can convey that you are engaged and interested in what the other person is saying. This simple act can help put the speaker at ease, making them feel valued. Additionally, choosing an appropriate setting for the conversation can enhance comfort. A quiet, relaxed environment allows for better focus and connection, while a loud, chaotic place can lead to misunderstandings and discomfort. To further build emotional comfort, it is vital to show genuine interest in the other person. Asking open-ended questions invites them to share more about themselves and demonstrates that you care about their experiences. When people feel heard, they become more comfortable and willing to open up. Sharing personal stories can also create a sense of vulnerability and connection. When you reveal something about yourself, it encourages the other person to do the same, fostering a deeper emotional bond. This mutual exchange of thoughts and feelings creates a foundation for trust and understanding, which is essential for a successful conversation. Understanding conversational rhythm is another important aspect of effective dialogue. Just like music, conversations have a natural flow that can be recognized and cultivated. This rhythm involves knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to pause. Effective conversationalists pay attention to the energy of the exchange, adjusting their responses accordingly. For example, if the conversation feels intense or emotional, a moment of silence can allow both parties to reflect before continuing. On the other hand, if the dialogue is light and playful, maintaining a lively pace can keep the energy high. Conversational rhythm also includes the use of turn-taking, which helps create balance in the dialogue. When both individuals share the floor, it leads to a more dynamic and engaging exchange. Interruptions can disrupt this rhythm, making conversations feel uneven or forced. By practicing patience and waiting for the other person to finish their thoughts, you show respect for their input. This attentiveness contributes to a smoother flow, allowing for a more enjoyable conversation overall. Recognizing and adapting to this rhythm is key to making conversations feel natural and effortless. Finally, small talk is often underestimated, yet it holds great significance in building connections. Many people view small talk as trivial, but it serves as the starting point for deeper conversations. Engaging in light topics, such as the weather or recent events, helps break the ice and establish rapport. This initial dialogue creates a comfortable atmosphere where more meaningful subjects can be introduced later. Small talk acts as a bridge that leads to greater intimacy, allowing individuals to gauge each other's interests and comfort levels before diving into deeper discussions. Moreover, small talk provides an opportunity to practice communication skills in low-pressure situations. By engaging in casual conversations, individuals can build their confidence and improve their conversational abilities. Each interaction, no matter how seemingly insignificant, helps reinforce social skills and can lead to valuable connections. Understanding the importance of small talk allows individuals to view it as an essential tool rather than a waste of time. Embracing these interactions can open doors to richer conversations and lasting relationships, making small talk a vital part of effective communication. Preparing mentally for conversations is crucial for success. A positive mindset can significantly influence how you interact with others. Before entering a conversation, take a moment to reflect on your goals. Ask yourself what you want to achieve from this interaction. It could be simply connecting with someone, learning more about them, or sharing your thoughts. By setting clear intentions, you can approach the conversation with a sense of purpose, which can help ease anxiety. This preparation allows you to focus on what truly matters, reducing the chances of getting distracted or overwhelmed. Another essential part of mental preparation is self-talk. The way you speak to yourself can shape your confidence and comfort level. Instead of thinking negatively or doubting your abilities, try to affirm your strengths. Remind yourself that you are capable of having a good conversation. Phrases like, "I am a good listener," or "I can connect with others," can help boost your self-esteem. By adopting a more positive inner dialogue, you set a supportive tone for the conversation, allowing you to express yourself more freely and authentically. Staying present during a conversation is vital for creating meaningful connections. One effective technique is to focus on your breathing. When you feel anxious or distracted, take a few deep breaths to ground yourself. This simple act can calm your mind and bring your attention back to the moment. As you breathe, try to notice the sensations in your body and the environment around you. This practice helps anchor you in the present, allowing you to engage fully with your conversation partner. Another technique for staying present is active listening. This means giving your full attention to the person speaking without planning your response while they talk. It involves making eye contact, nodding, and using verbal affirmations like, "I see," or "that makes sense." By doing this, you show the other person that you value their words and thoughts. This not only strengthens your connection, but also enhances your understanding of the conversation. When you actively listen, you can respond more thoughtfully and meaningfully. Self-awareness is also key in setting the stage for effective interactions. Recognizing your strengths can help you leverage them during conversations. For instance, if you know that you are a good storyteller, you can use this skill to engage your audience. Emphasizing your strengths boosts your confidence and encourages you to express yourself authentically. Additionally, understanding your challenges allows you to address them proactively. If you know that you tend to interrupt others, you can work on being more patient and giving them space to express themselves. Being aware of your emotional state is another aspect of self-awareness that can enhance communication. Before starting a conversation, take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you feeling anxious, excited, or neutral? Acknowledging your feelings can help you manage them better. If you are feeling nervous, remind yourself to take deep breaths and focus on your conversation partner. By recognizing your emotions, you can create a more balanced and constructive interaction. Developing self-awareness is an ongoing process that can lead to more fulfilling and engaging conversations. Chapter 2: Mastering the Small Talk Phase. When it comes to opening conversations with new people, having a few icebreakers can make a significant difference. An icebreaker is a simple question or statement that helps initiate dialogue. One effective technique is to start with a compliment or a friendly observation. For example, if you are at an event and notice someone wearing a unique piece of clothing, you might say, "I love your jacket. Where did you get it?" This type of opener not only breaks the ice, but also encourages the other person to engage in the conversation. The key is to be genuine in your compliment, as sincerity helps build rapport right from the start. Another useful technique is to ask open-ended questions. Unlike yes or no questions, open-ended questions invite the other person to share more about themselves. For instance, instead of asking, "Did you enjoy the event?" you might ask, "What did you think of the event overall?" This approach encourages a more in-depth response and opens the door for further discussion. Open-ended questions show that you are interested in the other person's thoughts and feelings, making it easier for them to connect with you. Using your environment as a conversation starter is another effective strategy. Look around you for cues that can lead to interesting discussions. For instance, if you are at a coffee shop, you could comment on the aroma of the coffee or the busy atmosphere. You might say, "This place has such a great vibe, doesn't it?" By referencing your surroundings, you create a shared experience that helps both parties feel more comfortable. This technique is particularly useful in social settings where everyone is experiencing the same environment. It is also helpful to engage in light observations or humor about your surroundings. If you are at a party and notice a quirky decoration, mentioning it can bring laughter and ease any tension. Humor can be a powerful tool for breaking the ice, as it creates a relaxed atmosphere. Just ensure that your comments are appropriate for the situation and audience. This approach allows you to create a connection based on shared laughter and enjoyment, setting a positive tone for the rest of the conversation. Overcoming initial nerves is essential for successful interactions. It is natural to feel anxious when meeting new people, but there are techniques to manage those feelings. One effective strategy is to practice mindfulness. Before approaching someone, take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Focus on the sensations of your breath moving in and out. This practice helps calm your mind and reduces anxiety, making it easier for you to engage with others. By grounding yourself, you can shift your focus from your worries to the conversation at hand. Another way to manage nerves is to remind yourself that everyone feels nervous at times. You are not alone in your feelings. Understanding that others may also be anxious can help you feel more connected and less isolated. This awareness can shift your perspective, allowing you to view the conversation as a shared experience rather than a performance. Remembering that most people appreciate genuine interactions can also reduce the pressure you place on yourself. Visualizing a successful conversation can be a powerful tool for overcoming nerves. Before approaching someone, picture yourself having a positive and enjoyable interaction. Imagine the other person smiling and engaging with your questions. This mental practice helps build your confidence and can turn anxious thoughts into positive expectations. By envisioning a successful outcome, you prepare your mind for the interaction, making it feel more attainable and less daunting. Asking questions that encourage talking is essential for building a meaningful conversation. Open-ended questions invite the other person to express their thoughts and feelings in detail. For example, instead of asking, "Did you like the movie?" you might ask, "What did you think of the movie?" This type of question prompts the person to share their opinions, making it easier for you to engage in a deeper discussion. When you ask open-ended questions, you show that you are genuinely interested in what the other person has to say. To make your questions even more effective, consider framing them in a way that relates to the person's experiences. If you know someone recently went on a trip, you could ask, "What was the highlight of your trip?" This question encourages the person to reflect on their experience and share a personal story. Personal questions often lead to more engaging conversations because they allow the other person to connect their own experiences to the discussion. This connection makes the conversation feel more authentic and enjoyable for both parties. It is also important to avoid questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. These questions often shut down the conversation rather than open it up. For instance, asking, "Do you like reading?" may lead to a quick answer without further discussion. Instead, you could ask, "What type of books do you enjoy reading and why?" This question requires the other person to provide more information, inviting them to share their preferences and opinions. By steering clear of yes or no questions, you create opportunities for more in-depth conversations. When you avoid yes or no questions, you help the conversation flow more smoothly. Open-ended questions can also lead to follow-up questions that keep the dialogue going. If someone mentions a favorite book, you might ask, "What was it about that book that resonated with you?" This encourages the other person to elaborate, creating a richer conversation. The more you listen and respond to their answers, the more comfortable they will feel sharing with you. As you engage in deeper conversations, it is important to remember how to dive deeper without prying. While it is great to ask questions that invite the other person to share, you should also be mindful of their comfort level. If someone mentions a challenging experience, you can show empathy by saying something like, "That sounds tough. How did you handle it?" This way, you express your concern while allowing the other person to share as much as they feel comfortable. Another effective technique for diving deeper is to use reflective listening. This involves restating or summarizing what the other person has said before asking your next question. For example, you might say, "It sounds like that experience really changed your perspective. Can you tell me more about how it influenced you?" This approach shows that you are paying attention and are genuinely interested in their story. It creates a safe space for the person to open up further without feeling pressured to share more than they want to. Being sensitive to body language and tone is also crucial when diving deeper into a conversation. Pay attention to how the other person reacts to your questions. If they seem hesitant or uncomfortable, it may be best to change the subject or ask a lighter question. Respecting their boundaries is key to maintaining a positive interaction. When you create a supportive environment, the other person will feel more at ease and willing to share their thoughts. Transitioning from small talk to more engaging topics can feel challenging, but it is an essential skill. One effective way to do this is by paying attention to what the other person is saying. If they mention a topic they seem passionate about, you can use that as a springboard to dive deeper. For example, if someone talks about a recent trip, you might ask, "What was the most surprising thing you experienced on that trip?" This question encourages them to share more detailed and interesting aspects of their experience. The key is to listen actively and pick up on cues that show the other person is excited to talk about certain subjects. Another approach to transition smoothly is to share a related personal story. When someone opens up about their interests or experiences, you can connect with your own story that relates to that topic. This not only makes the conversation more engaging, but also creates a sense of camaraderie. For instance, if someone mentions their love for hiking, you could share a memorable hiking experience of your own. This sharing fosters a more profound connection and encourages the other person to continue discussing their passions. When you share personal experiences, it can also invite the other person to feel more comfortable opening up as well. Gauging the other person's interest and comfort is crucial in ensuring that the conversation remains enjoyable for both of you. One way to do this is by observing their body language and facial expressions. If they seem engaged, leaning in, or smiling, it is a sign that they are enjoying the conversation. However, if they appear distracted or uncomfortable, it may be time to switch topics or ask a different question. You can also ask them directly how they feel about a subject by saying something like, "Is this something you enjoy discussing?" This shows that you care about their feelings and want to create a comfortable environment for dialogue. Being aware of verbal cues is also important. Listen carefully to the tone of their voice and the enthusiasm behind their words. If they sound excited about a topic, it is likely a good area to explore further. Conversely, if they give short or hesitant answers, you might want to steer the conversation in a different direction. By being attentive to both verbal and nonverbal signals, you can navigate the conversation more effectively and make adjustments to keep it engaging. Practicing patience and allowing space for a natural flow in conversations is vital for creating meaningful interactions. Sometimes people need a moment to gather their thoughts before responding. Avoid rushing to fill the silence, as this can disrupt the natural rhythm of the conversation. Instead, embrace the pauses and give the other person time to reflect on what you have said. These moments of silence can lead to deeper insights and more thoughtful responses. Additionally, it is important to recognize that not every conversation will lead to a deep connection right away. Some discussions may start slowly, and that is perfectly okay. By being patient and allowing the conversation to develop over time, you create an environment where both people feel comfortable sharing. Sometimes, the best moments in a conversation happen organically as you let the dialogue unfold naturally. Trusting the process can lead to surprising and delightful exchanges. When you practice patience, you also show respect for the other person's thoughts and feelings. Allowing space for them to express themselves freely encourages a sense of safety and trust. As the conversation progresses, you may find that people begin to open up more and share personal stories or insights. This deepening of the conversation is often a result of the comfort you create through patience and attentive listening. In summary, moving beyond surface-level chat requires skillful transitions to engaging topics, a keen awareness of the other person's interest and comfort, and the practice of patience. By developing these abilities, you can foster deeper and more meaningful conversations that leave a lasting impact on both you and the people you engage with. Remember that every interaction is an opportunity to connect and learn more about others, enriching your social experiences along the way. Chapter 3: Building Blocks of Connection. Empathy is the foundation of any meaningful conversation. It involves understanding and sharing the feelings of another person. When you practice empathy, you create a safe space where the other person feels valued and understood. This connection is essential for deeper conversations. For instance, when someone shares a personal story, instead of merely listening, try to put yourself in their shoes. Consider how they might feel in that moment. You could respond with something like, "That must have been really challenging for you." This response not only shows that you are listening, but also that you care about their emotions. When people feel that you genuinely understand them, they are more likely to open up and share even more. Another way to express empathy is by validating the other person's feelings. When someone shares their thoughts or experiences, acknowledge their emotions. For example, if a friend is upset about a job interview, you might say, "It's completely understandable to feel nervous about that." This kind of validation helps create a strong emotional bond between you and the other person. They will appreciate your understanding and may feel more comfortable sharing their thoughts and feelings with you in the future. Showing genuine interest in others is another crucial aspect of building connections. When you engage in a conversation, make it clear that you care about what the other person has to say. One effective way to demonstrate your interest is by asking open-ended questions. Instead of asking questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no, try to invite the person to share more. For example, instead of asking, "Did you enjoy the movie?" you could ask, "What did you think about the movie's ending?" This encourages the other person to elaborate on their thoughts and feelings, leading to a richer conversation. Active listening is an essential tool in showing genuine interest. This means fully concentrating on what the other person is saying rather than thinking about your response. Nodding your head, maintaining eye contact, and giving verbal affirmations like, "I see" or "That's interesting," can signal to the speaker that you are engaged in the conversation. This kind of attention not only encourages the other person to share more, but also helps you to understand their perspective better. When they notice that you are genuinely interested, they will feel valued, and the conversation can deepen naturally. Recognizing opportunities to build rapport is a skill that can significantly enhance your conversations. Rapport is a sense of connection and mutual understanding between people. One way to build rapport is by finding common ground. This can be shared interests, experiences, or values. For instance, if you discover that you both enjoy hiking, you can talk about favorite trails or memorable hikes. This shared topic can create a bond and lead to a more enjoyable and engaging conversation. Body language also plays a significant role in building rapport. When you are open and approachable in your body language, it encourages the other person to feel comfortable. Leaning slightly forward, smiling, and maintaining open posture can signal that you are engaged and interested. These nonverbal cues are powerful in fostering a sense of connection. When both parties feel comfortable, the conversation can flow more naturally, allowing for deeper discussions. Finally, sometimes humor can be a great tool for building rapport. A lighthearted joke or a shared laugh can ease tension and create a friendly atmosphere. When appropriate, sharing a funny story or experience can make the other person feel more at ease. Humor can serve as a bridge, helping to connect you and the other person on a more personal level. However, it is important to ensure that the humor is appropriate for the situation and the person you are talking to. Sharing personal stories can be a powerful way to connect with others. However, it is important to strike a balance between being open and oversharing. Oversharing can make others uncomfortable and may even create distance instead of connection. When you choose a story to share, consider its relevance to the conversation. A good rule of thumb is to share experiences that relate to the other person's interests or feelings. For instance, if someone is discussing a challenging work project, sharing a story about a time you faced a similar challenge can create a bond. This approach helps the other person feel understood and encourages them to share their own experiences. Another aspect to consider is the level of detail you include in your story. You do not need to provide every small detail to make your story interesting. Focus on the key elements that help convey the message or emotion you want to share. By being concise, you allow the other person to engage with your story without feeling overwhelmed. For example, if you are telling a story about a travel experience, highlight the key moments that were significant to you. This way, you keep the listener engaged and allow them to relate to your experience in their own way. It is also essential to be mindful of your audience when sharing personal stories. Consider the other person's background and comfort level. If you know that they have experienced similar challenges, your story may resonate with them more deeply. On the other hand, if the story involves sensitive topics, it may be best to approach those stories with care or avoid them altogether. Building trust through small, relatable stories can create a foundation for sharing more personal experiences over time. Keeping stories relatable is key to engaging your audience. When you share experiences that resonate with others, it encourages them to connect with you on a deeper level. One effective technique is to focus on universal themes, such as friendship, overcoming obstacles, or personal growth. These themes are often relatable, as many people have experienced similar situations. By framing your story around these common experiences, you create an opportunity for the other person to see themselves in your narrative. Another way to make your stories engaging is to use descriptive language that paints a vivid picture in the listener's mind. Instead of simply stating facts, describe the emotions you felt and the atmosphere surrounding the event. For example, instead of saying you went hiking, you could say, "I remember the feeling of the crisp air and the excitement in my chest as I climbed to the top of the mountain." This kind of imagery invites the listener to share in your experience, making the story more memorable and impactful. Additionally, ask questions or invite the other person to share their thoughts during your storytelling. This approach helps create a dialogue rather than a monologue. You can say something like, "Have you ever felt that way?" Or, "What would you have done in that situation?" These questions encourage the other person to engage with your story and share their own experiences. This interaction strengthens the connection between you and makes the conversation more dynamic. Adding humor and warmth to your storytelling can enhance the connection even further. A well-placed joke or a light-hearted comment can ease tension and create a friendly atmosphere. When sharing a story, look for opportunities to include humorous observations or funny moments. For instance, if you are recounting a travel mishap, highlighting the lighter side of the situation can make your story more enjoyable. Humor creates a sense of camaraderie and makes you more relatable. It is also important to show warmth through your tone and body language while telling your story. A genuine smile or a relaxed demeanor can help put the other person at ease. Use gestures to emphasize key points in your story, as this adds energy and engagement. Your enthusiasm can be contagious, making the listener feel more connected to your narrative. Finally, always be authentic in your storytelling. Share stories that truly reflect your experiences and emotions. Authenticity fosters trust and encourages the other person to be open as well. When you share from the heart, it allows for a deeper connection that goes beyond small talk. By combining authenticity with humor and warmth, you create a powerful tool for building lasting relationships through storytelling. Avoiding one-upping is essential for creating a supportive conversation. One-upping happens when someone tries to outdo another person's story or experience. This behavior can make the other person feel unheard or belittled. For example, if someone shares a story about a tough day at work, responding with a story about an even tougher day can take the focus away from them. Instead of building a connection, it can create a sense of competition in the conversation. To foster a more positive environment, focus on being genuinely present in the conversation. Rather than thinking about how to top someone else's story, concentrate on what they are saying. Show empathy by acknowledging their feelings and experiences. You can say something like, "That sounds really challenging," or "I can imagine how tough that must have been." These responses help the other person feel valued and understood, rather than overshadowed. Another important aspect of avoiding one-upping is being aware of your motivations in a conversation. Ask yourself why you feel the need to share a more impressive story. Recognizing these feelings can help you shift your focus from yourself to the other person. By practicing this mindfulness, you can create a more open and inviting space for conversation, where both parties feel comfortable sharing and listening. Reflective listening techniques can greatly enhance your understanding of what someone is sharing. Reflective listening involves actively engaging with the speaker by summarizing or paraphrasing what they have said. This technique shows that you are genuinely listening and encourages the other person to continue sharing. For example, if a friend talks about feeling stressed at work, you might respond by saying, "It sounds like you are feeling overwhelmed with your workload." Using reflective listening not only demonstrates that you are paying attention but also provides an opportunity for clarification. If you misinterpret something, the other person can correct you, ensuring that you both are on the same page. This mutual understanding helps strengthen the connection between you. It also encourages deeper conversations, as the speaker may feel more comfortable opening up about their thoughts and feelings. Another effective technique in reflective listening is to use open-ended questions. This encourages the speaker to elaborate on their thoughts and feelings. For instance, you could ask, "What do you think you might do to address that stress?" This approach invites the other person to explore their situation further and reinforces that you are interested in understanding their perspective. Reflective listening creates a space where meaningful conversations can flourish, leading to a deeper connection. Practicing emotional validation and support is crucial in building trust during conversations. Emotional validation means acknowledging and accepting another person's feelings without judgment. When someone expresses their emotions, it is essential to respond with understanding. For example, if a friend shares that they feel sad about a recent event, responding with, "It's okay to feel sad. That must be really tough for you," validates their feelings and shows support. This practice encourages openness and honesty in conversations. When people feel that their emotions are recognized, they are more likely to share their thoughts and experiences. It creates a safe environment for dialogue, allowing for deeper connections. Emotional validation can also help reduce feelings of loneliness, as it shows that someone cares about what they are going through. To practice emotional validation, be mindful of your responses. Instead of trying to fix the problem or immediately offering advice, take a moment to listen. Sometimes people simply need to feel heard. You can offer phrases like, "I understand why you would feel that way," or "Your feelings are completely valid." This type of response encourages the other person to express themselves more freely, leading to richer conversations. Lastly, showing support during emotional conversations is equally important. This support can come in many forms, such as offering encouragement, reassurance, or simply being present. For example, if a friend is feeling anxious about a big presentation, you can say, "I believe in you and you are going to do great." Small acts of support can have a significant impact on how someone feels, reinforcing the bond between you and making the conversation more meaningful. Chapter 4. The Secret to Smooth Transitions. Recognizing conversational cues is essential for keeping a conversation flowing. One of the most important cues to pay attention to is the thread in a conversation. A thread is a topic or idea that connects different parts of the discussion. It might be a shared experience, a comment someone made, or a question that sparked interest. By identifying these threads, you can create a more coherent and engaging dialogue. For example, if someone mentions a recent trip to the beach, you can follow that thread by asking about their favorite activities there or sharing a similar experience you had. Being attentive to these threads allows you to build on what the other person has said. When you pick up on their interests and feelings, it shows that you are actively listening. This engagement encourages the other person to continue sharing and deepens your connection. Recognizing threads helps avoid awkward pauses or dead ends in the conversation. Instead of abruptly shifting to a different topic, you can seamlessly transition by tying your next comment back to the thread that has already been established. Another important conversational cue is the tone and energy of the discussion. Each person has their own style of communicating, and paying attention to these differences can greatly enhance your conversational skills. For example, if your conversation partner is excitedly discussing their favorite movie, responding with equal enthusiasm can create a more engaging atmosphere. Matching their tone not only shows empathy but also fosters a sense of connection. This does not mean you have to change your personality, but rather adapt your style to align with the other person's energy. In addition to matching tone, you should also be aware of the emotional state of the other person. If they seem serious or reflective, it might not be the best time to introduce a lighthearted topic. Conversely, if the conversation is lively and fun, it could be an excellent opportunity to inject some humor or playful banter. Understanding these emotional cues can guide your responses and help maintain the flow of conversation. Gauging when to change topics is another critical skill in conversational dynamics. Knowing when to transition can prevent the conversation from becoming stagnant or awkward. A good time to change topics is when you sense that the current subject has run its course. This might be indicated by the other person's body language, such as a lack of eye contact or a shift in posture. If they seem less engaged or are giving short responses, it may be time to introduce a new topic. When transitioning, it can be helpful to use a gentle segue. This could involve linking the current topic to a new one. For instance, if you were talking about vacation experiences and notice that the other person is no longer engaged, you might say something like, "Speaking of vacations, have you ever tried a cooking class while traveling?" This approach helps maintain the conversation's flow and allows for a smoother transition. It also shows that you are considering their interests and feelings. Finally, curiosity can be a powerful tool when transitioning topics. By expressing genuine interest in the other person's experiences or opinions, you create an opportunity to shift the conversation. Asking open-ended questions encourages them to share more, which can lead to a new topic that feels natural and engaging. For example, after discussing a movie, you might ask, "What genre of films do you usually enjoy?" This question invites the other person to share their preferences and can lead to a deeper discussion about shared interests. By being attentive to conversational cues, matching energy and tone, and gauging the right time to change topics, you can create smoother transitions that enhance your conversations. Using humor is a powerful way to break into new topics during a conversation. When you make someone laugh, it creates a light and comfortable atmosphere. This can help ease any tension that might exist and opens the door for a smooth transition. Humor can also make the conversation more enjoyable for both parties. For example, if you are talking about a serious topic and feel that it is time to shift gears, a lighthearted joke can set a new tone. You might say something like, "I guess we need a break from all this seriousness. Did you hear about the mathematician who's afraid of negative numbers? He will stop at nothing to avoid them." This not only brings a smile but also signals that you are ready to move to a new topic. It is important to keep in mind that humor should feel natural and appropriate for the context of the conversation. Using humor that connects to the previous topic can make the transition feel seamless. If you were discussing a stressful week, a funny story about your cat causing trouble at home can provide a relatable and lighthearted shift. The key is to ensure that the humor is inclusive and does not alienate the other person. Observing their reaction can help you determine if it was a good fit and if they are ready to engage with the new topic. Asking curiosity-driven questions is another effective technique for shifting topics in conversations. When you ask questions that genuinely interest both you and your conversation partner, you encourage them to share more about themselves. This can lead to new subjects that feel relevant and engaging. For example, if the conversation has been about work, you might ask, "What do you enjoy doing in your free time?" This question invites them to share their passions and hobbies, which can lead to deeper discussions about shared interests or experiences. Curiosity-driven questions can help you discover what topics excite the other person. This approach not only makes the conversation more enjoyable, but also creates a sense of connection. When people feel that their thoughts and feelings are valued, they are more likely to open up and engage in the conversation. Listening actively to their responses allows you to pick up on clues that can guide you to the next topic. If they mention a favorite book or movie, you can transition into a discussion about literature or films, keeping the momentum going. Introducing new subjects without losing engagement is a delicate balance that requires careful consideration. One way to do this is by creating a bridge from the current topic to the new one. For instance, if you are discussing travel and want to shift to food, you might say, "Speaking of traveling, I recently tried the most amazing Italian restaurant that reminded me of my trip to Italy." This connection allows for a smooth transition and keeps the other person engaged by linking their interests to your new subject. Another effective technique is to maintain the energy of the conversation as you introduce a new topic. You can use enthusiastic language and an inviting tone to capture their attention. For example, saying something like, "I just discovered a new hobby that I think you'd find fascinating," invites curiosity and encourages them to ask questions. This creates a sense of excitement and keeps the conversation dynamic. It also shows that you are genuinely interested in sharing something meaningful, which can lead to a rich and engaging dialogue. Lastly, it can be helpful to check in with the other person after introducing a new subject. A simple question like, "How do you feel about that?" can invite their thoughts and feelings. This allows them to engage with the topic actively. By using humor, asking curiosity-driven questions, and skillfully introducing new subjects, You can create seamless transitions in your conversations that foster connection and engagement. Observing skilled conversationalists can provide valuable insights into how to navigate conversations smoothly. These individuals often have a natural ability to connect with others and shift topics effortlessly. You might notice how they use body language, tone, and eye contact to engage their listeners. For instance, they might lean in slightly when someone is speaking or smile to show they are interested. These small gestures can make a big difference in how others perceive them and how they keep the conversation flowing. Another aspect to pay attention to is how these conversationalists transition between topics. They often do this by finding common ground or by linking the current topic to something new. For example, if they are discussing a recent movie, they might mention a related topic like a book that inspired the film. This connection makes the transition feel natural and keeps everyone engaged. By observing these techniques, you can learn how to apply similar strategies in your conversations. It can also be helpful to notice the questions they ask. Skilled conversationalists often use open-ended questions that invite deeper responses. This encourages a more dynamic exchange of ideas and allows for a smooth shift to new subjects. As you watch them, think about how you can incorporate similar questioning styles into your own conversations. With practice, you can develop your own unique style while drawing inspiration from others. Practicing with low-stakes conversations is a great way to build your skills without the pressure of high-stakes situations. These can be everyday interactions like chatting with a cashier or talking to a neighbor. In these contexts, the focus is less on the outcome and more on the experience itself. Start by engaging in light conversations and see how you can introduce new topics smoothly. This might mean sharing a funny story or asking a question about their day. Since these interactions do not carry much weight, you can feel more at ease and explore different techniques. As you practice, pay attention to how the other person responds. Are they engaged? Do they seem to enjoy the conversation? This feedback can help you understand what works and what might need improvement. Remember, the goal here is not perfection but rather growth. Each conversation is an opportunity to learn and refine your skills. With every interaction, you will become more comfortable with transitioning topics. Another benefit of practicing low-stakes conversations is that it allows you to experiment with different strategies. You can try using humor, curiosity-driven questions, or linking topics in creative ways. As you gain confidence in these settings, you will find it easier to apply the same techniques in more challenging conversations. Over time, this practice will help you feel more relaxed and capable in social situations. Reflecting on your progress and growth is crucial for developing your conversational skills. Take a moment to think about your recent conversations. What went well? Were there moments when you felt particularly confident or connected with someone? Reflecting on these experiences can help you recognize your strengths and identify areas for improvement. Consider keeping a journal to track your thoughts and feelings about your interactions. Writing down your experiences can provide clarity and encourage you to continue working on your skills. Additionally, it is helpful to set goals for yourself as you practice. Maybe you want to focus on using humor in your conversations or ask at least one open-ended question in every interaction. Setting specific goals can keep you motivated and give you a sense of purpose in your practice. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Each step forward is a sign of your growth as a conversationalist. By watching skilled conversationalists, practicing in low-stakes situations, and reflecting on your progress, you will develop the confidence and skills needed for smooth transitions in conversations. These techniques will not only enhance your communication abilities but also enrich your social connections, making interactions more enjoyable for both you and those around you. Remember that every conversation is an opportunity to learn and grow, so embrace the journey with an open heart and mind. Chapter 5. Handling awkward silences like a pro. Silence is often misunderstood in conversations. Many people feel uncomfortable when there is a pause in dialogue. They may think they need to fill the silence with words to keep the conversation going. However, silence is a natural and necessary part of any conversation. It allows both speakers to process information and reflect on what has been said. Understanding this can help reduce anxiety during those quiet moments. When you realize that silence is not something to fear, you can approach conversations with more confidence. Silence can also serve as an important signal in communication. It can indicate that someone is thinking deeply about what has just been said. In this way, it shows that the conversation is meaningful and that the speakers are engaged. Instead of rushing to fill the silence, embrace it as a chance to connect on a deeper level. This perspective shift can change how you feel during pauses and can improve the overall quality of your conversations. Pausing has several benefits that can enhance your communication skills. When you take a moment to pause, it gives you the opportunity to collect your thoughts. This means that your responses can be more thoughtful and relevant. Instead of reacting immediately, you can choose your words more carefully. This can lead to more meaningful exchanges and prevent misunderstandings. Pausing also allows the other person to speak or add their thoughts. It creates a space for dialogue rather than a one-sided conversation. In addition, pausing can make your words more impactful. When you speak in a measured way, your audience is more likely to pay attention. A well-timed pause can create suspense or emphasize a point you want to make. This is particularly useful when you are sharing an important idea or telling a story. By allowing for pauses, you encourage others to listen closely and engage with what you are saying. This approach helps foster a richer conversation where both parties feel valued. Knowing when to use silence strategically can greatly enhance your conversational skills. There are moments in conversations where a pause can communicate more than words. For instance, after someone shares something emotional or personal, allowing silence can show your respect and understanding. This pause gives the speaker a chance to reflect on their feelings and creates a safe space for them to continue if they choose. Recognizing these moments can help you respond with greater empathy and support. Another strategic use of silence is during discussions where ideas need to be explored further. If you are brainstorming or discussing solutions, pausing allows everyone to think deeply about the topic at hand. This can lead to richer discussions and more creative solutions. When you give others time to ponder, they may come up with insights that enhance the conversation. Using silence in this way promotes collaboration and shows that you value others' contributions. By understanding the role of silence, recognizing its benefits, and knowing when to use it strategically, you can transform how you handle awkward moments in conversation. Instead of feeling anxious during pauses, you will see them as opportunities to connect more deeply and enhance communication. Embracing silence can lead to more meaningful interactions where both you and your conversation partner feel heard and understood. With practice, you will become a more confident communicator, turning what once felt awkward into a natural part of your conversations. Complimenting someone is a simple yet powerful way to reignite a conversation. A genuine compliment can brighten someone's day and encourage them to open up. When you compliment a person, it shows that you are paying attention and value what they bring to the conversation. For example, if you notice that someone has a unique style or a great idea, mentioning it can create a positive atmosphere. This encourages the other person to engage more actively, sharing their thoughts and feelings in response. When giving compliments, be sincere and specific. Instead of a vague, "You look nice," try something like, "That color really suits you." It brings out your eyes. This type of compliment feels more personal and thoughtful. It opens the door for the other person to share their own feelings about what they are wearing or their style in general. This can lead to a deeper conversation about fashion or self-expression, allowing the dialogue to flow naturally from there. Another effective way to reignite conversation is through summarization. When you summarize what has been discussed so far, it shows that you are actively listening and engaged. This can also provide a moment of reflection for both speakers. For example, if the conversation has wandered or slowed down, you can say something like, "So, we've talked about your recent trip and you mentioned a few things you loved about it." This not only restates the topic, but also gives the other person a chance to elaborate or shift the focus back to something they feel passionate about. Summarization can also serve as a bridge to new topics. After summarizing, you can introduce a related idea that may spark more interest. For instance, if the conversation was about travel, you might say, "That reminds me of a place I visited that I think you would love. Have you ever been to?" This technique allows for a smooth transition, ensuring that the dialogue continues without feeling forced. It shows your willingness to explore topics of mutual interest, helping both parties feel involved. Asking for input is another fantastic way to keep conversations going. People enjoy sharing their opinions and experiences. By asking open-ended questions, you invite the other person to contribute their thoughts. Questions like, "What do you think about?" or "How did that make you feel?" can prompt deeper discussions. This approach not only keeps the conversation alive, but also helps you learn more about the other person. It shows that you value their perspective and encourages them to share more. Sharing personal observations can also create a bridge back into conversation. When you share something relevant from your own life, it invites the other person to relate or respond. For example, if you discuss a book you recently read and enjoyed, it opens the door for the other person to share their own reading preferences or thoughts on the topic. This sharing creates a balance in the conversation, making it feel more natural and less like an interview. By using compliments, summarization, and asking for input, you can effectively reignite conversations and keep them flowing smoothly. These techniques help create a positive atmosphere where both parties feel engaged and valued. With practice, these methods will become second nature, allowing you to navigate conversations with confidence and ease. Embrace these tools, and you will find that even the most challenging moments can lead to meaningful interactions. Self-reflection is a powerful tool when it comes to understanding the reasons behind your anxiety in conversations. Taking time to think about your feelings can help you identify specific triggers that lead to silence or discomfort. Ask yourself questions such as what situations make you feel anxious or whether you worry about what others think of you during conversations. These reflections can help you gain clarity about your fears and anxieties, allowing you to address them directly. When reflecting on your experiences, consider past situations where silence occurred. Think about how you reacted and what thoughts went through your mind during those moments. Were you worried about saying something wrong or feeling embarrassed? By identifying these patterns, you can develop strategies to combat these fears. Understanding that silence is a natural part of conversation can also help you shift your mindset. Recognizing that everyone experiences these moments can make them feel less daunting. Real-life examples can serve as powerful reminders of how to handle silence gracefully. Picture a scenario where you are chatting with a friend, and suddenly there is a pause. Instead of feeling anxious, consider using that time to take a breath and gather your thoughts. You could comment on something happening around you, ask a follow-up question, or simply allow the silence to exist for a moment. This approach shows that you are comfortable with the natural flow of conversation and helps you to become more at ease during similar situations in the future. Another example involves a group setting, such as a work meeting. If there is a lull in conversation, you might use this opportunity to summarize what has been discussed so far. This can help to refocus the group and encourage others to contribute. By taking the initiative to guide the conversation, you not only ease the tension but also demonstrate leadership qualities. Over time, practicing this approach in low-pressure environments can build your confidence in handling silence in more challenging situations. To practice these skills effectively, seek out low-pressure settings where you can engage in conversations without the fear of judgment. This could be with family members, close friends, or even acquaintances in casual settings. These environments allow you to experiment with handling silence, using self-reflection and real-life examples to guide your actions. Start by having short conversations and gradually extend their duration as you become more comfortable. In these low-pressure settings, remember that the goal is to create a supportive atmosphere where you can learn and grow. Use these opportunities to practice self-reflection, identify triggers, and observe how silence can be managed effectively. Over time, as you gain confidence and experience, you will find that handling silence becomes easier, allowing for more meaningful interactions in all areas of your life. Embracing silence as a natural part of conversation will empower you to navigate social situations with greater ease and confidence. Chapter 6. Storytelling Skills for Deeper Engagement. When it comes to making conversations more engaging, storytelling is a powerful tool. In this section, we will explore 3 key ideas that will help you develop your storytelling skills. First, we will look at how to keep your stories concise and clear. Second, we will discuss the importance of adding relatable details to make your stories more engaging. Finally, we will see how body language can enhance the way you tell your story and keep your audience interested. Keeping your stories concise and clear is essential. When telling a story, it is easy to get lost in details and forget the main point. To avoid this, focus on the central message you want to convey. Ask yourself what the main idea of your story is and stick to it. This will help you create a narrative that is easy to follow. Shortening your story can also make it more impactful. A brief, well-told story often leaves a stronger impression than a long, winding tale. Remember, the goal is to engage your listener, so keep it simple. Another important aspect of storytelling is to add relatable details. These details help your audience connect with your story on a personal level. Consider including feelings, thoughts, and experiences that many people can understand. For example, if you are telling a story about a challenging situation, share your emotions during that time. This allows your listeners to empathize with you and feel like they are part of your experience. Relatable details not only make your story more interesting, but also create a sense of shared understanding. Humor is a great way to make your stories even more engaging. When you can make someone laugh, they are more likely to remember your story. You do not need to be a comedian, but finding moments of humor in your experiences can add a fun element to your storytelling. Think about the funny things that happened during a situation and weave them into your narrative. Humor can break the ice and create a more relaxed atmosphere, making it easier for others to connect with you. Body language plays a vital role in storytelling. How you present your story can be just as important as the story itself. Using gestures and facial expressions can add depth to your narrative. When you describe an exciting moment, let your excitement show through your expressions. This helps your audience feel the emotions you want them to experience. Additionally, maintaining eye contact with your listeners makes them feel engaged and valued. Good body language can elevate your storytelling and create a more memorable experience. Finally, practice is key to becoming a better storyteller. The more you tell stories, the more comfortable you will become. Start by sharing simple stories with friends or family. Pay attention to their reactions and adjust your storytelling style based on their feedback. With time, you will develop a natural rhythm and style that works for you. Remember that storytelling is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice to improve. Embrace opportunities to tell stories in everyday conversations and watch your confidence grow. Sharing personal stories can be a powerful way to connect with others. However, it is important to strike a balance between being open and oversharing. Oversharing can make others uncomfortable and may even create distance instead of connection. When you choose a story to share, consider its relevance to the conversation. A good rule of thumb is to share experiences that relate to the other person's interests or feelings. For instance, if someone is discussing a challenging work project, sharing a story about a time you faced a similar challenge can create a bond. This approach helps the other person feel understood and encourages them to share their own experiences. Another aspect to consider is the level of detail you include in your story. You do not need to provide every small detail to make your story interesting. Focus on the key elements that help convey the message or emotion you want to share. By being concise, you allow the other person to engage with your story without feeling overwhelmed. For example, if you are telling a story about a travel experience, highlight the key moments that were significant to you. This way, you keep the listener engaged and allow them to relate to your experience in their own way. It is also essential to be mindful of your audience when sharing personal stories. Consider the other person's background and comfort level. If you know that they have experienced similar challenges, your story may resonate with them more deeply. On the other hand, if the story involves sensitive topics, it may be best to approach those stories with care or avoid them altogether. Building trust through small, relatable stories can create a foundation for sharing more personal experiences over time. Keeping stories relatable is key to engaging your audience. When you share experiences that resonate with others, it encourages them to connect with you on a deeper level. One effective technique is to focus on universal themes, such as friendship, overcoming obstacles, or personal growth. These themes are often relatable, as many people have experienced similar situations. By framing your story around these common experiences, you create an opportunity for the other person to see themselves in your narrative. Another way to make your stories engaging is to use descriptive language that paints a vivid picture in the listener's mind. Instead of simply stating facts, describe the emotions you felt and the atmosphere surrounding the event. For example, instead of saying you went hiking, You could say, "I remember the feeling of the crisp air and the excitement in my chest as I climbed to the top of the mountain." This kind of imagery invites the listener to share in your experience, making the story more memorable and impactful. Additionally, ask questions or invite the other person to share their thoughts during your storytelling. This approach helps create a dialogue rather than a monologue. You can say something like, "Have you ever felt that way?" Or, "What would you have done in that situation?" These questions encourage the other person to engage with your story and share their own experiences. This interaction strengthens the connection between you and makes the conversation more dynamic. Adding humor and warmth to your storytelling can enhance the connection even further. A well-placed joke or a lighthearted comment can ease tension and create a friendly atmosphere. When sharing a story, look for opportunities to include humorous observations or funny moments. For instance, if you are recounting a travel mishap, highlighting the lighter side of the situation can make your story more enjoyable. Humor creates a sense of camaraderie and makes you more relatable. It is also important to show warmth through your tone and body language while telling your story. A genuine smile or a relaxed demeanor can help put the other person at ease. Use gestures to emphasize key points in your story, as this adds energy and engagement. Your enthusiasm can be contagious, making the listener feel more connected to your narrative. Having a repertoire of go-to stories is a valuable asset for any conversationalist. These stories should be memorable and versatile, meaning they can fit various situations and audiences. Start by reflecting on significant moments in your life, such as funny incidents, meaningful lessons, or memorable experiences. Write these stories down to help you remember them better. By having a selection of stories at your fingertips, you will feel more confident when engaging in conversations. When choosing stories for your repertoire, consider their relevance to different themes. For example, you might have a funny travel story, a heartwarming family anecdote, or a story about overcoming a challenge. This variety will allow you to adapt your stories based on the context of the conversation. If someone shares an experience about a difficult day at work, you can pull out a related story about a time when you faced a similar situation. This connection will help build rapport and keep the conversation flowing. Practicing your storytelling skills with friends and family can be both enjoyable and beneficial. These are the people who know you best, so they can offer honest feedback on your stories. Start by sharing a story during a casual gathering or dinner. Pay attention to their reactions as you tell the story. Are they engaged and laughing? Do they ask questions? Their responses can help you gauge the effectiveness of your storytelling. If you notice that a particular story resonates well with your friends or family, make a note of it. This feedback is valuable for identifying which stories might work best in different social settings. If you find that a story falls flat or doesn't elicit much reaction, consider adjusting it or even replacing it with another one. Storytelling is a skill that can improve over time, and feedback is an essential part of that growth. Recognizing positive feedback during your storytelling is crucial for building confidence. When your audience laughs, smiles, or leans in closer, these are signs that they are enjoying your story. These reactions can motivate you to keep sharing and experimenting with your storytelling style. Celebrate these small victories and use them as a foundation for improving your skills. On the other hand, if you receive neutral or negative feedback, it is essential not to get discouraged. Instead, view this as an opportunity for growth. Take a moment to reflect on what might not have worked. Was the story too long or too complicated? Did it lack a clear point? Use these insights to adjust your storytelling approach. Remember that even experienced storytellers constantly refine their craft based on audience reactions. Finally, consider varying your storytelling style based on the audience and context. Some situations may call for a more serious tone, while others might benefit from humor or lightheartedness. Being adaptable will help you connect with different people and make your stories more engaging. Observe how your audience responds and adjust your style as needed. This flexibility will enhance your storytelling abilities and enrich your conversations. Practicing storytelling in daily conversations is a valuable way to improve your communication skills. By developing a repertoire of go-to stories, practicing with friends and family, and recognizing feedback, you can become a more confident and engaging storyteller. As you refine your storytelling skills, you will find it easier to connect with others and create meaningful conversations that leave a lasting impression. Chapter 7. Reading the room and adjusting tone. Decoding nonverbal cues is essential for effective communication. People often express their feelings and reactions through body language and facial expressions, sometimes more than through words. For example, crossed arms might indicate defensiveness or discomfort, while open arms can show receptiveness and warmth. Similarly, a smile can convey friendliness, while a furrowed brow may indicate confusion or concern. By paying attention to these signals, you can gain valuable insights into how the other person is feeling, allowing you to respond more appropriately. As you become more skilled at recognizing body language, try to observe how it changes in different situations. In a casual setting, people may appear more relaxed, leaning back in their chairs and making eye contact. In a formal setting, however, they might adopt a more rigid posture, signaling the need for professionalism. Understanding these differences can help you gauge the overall mood of the conversation and adapt your tone accordingly. If the atmosphere is tense, for instance, you might choose a softer tone and more empathetic language to ease the situation. Facial expressions play a significant role in conveying emotions. When someone shares a story, their facial expressions can enhance the message they are trying to communicate. A look of excitement or joy can invite you to engage more deeply, while a sad expression may prompt you to offer support. By tuning into these facial cues, you can build a stronger connection with the person speaking. Reflect on how you can use your own facial expressions to convey interest and empathy in return. Understanding personal space and comfort zones is another vital aspect of reading the room. Everyone has different comfort levels when it comes to personal space. Some people feel comfortable standing close to others, while others prefer more distance. Be observant of how others position themselves during conversations. If someone steps back or appears uneasy when you get too close, it may be a sign that you need to respect their personal space. On the other hand, if someone leans in closer, it could indicate that they are engaged and comfortable with you. To create a comfortable atmosphere, adjust your physical distance based on the context and the individuals involved. In a one-on-one conversation with a friend, standing closer may feel natural and inviting. In a group setting or with someone you do not know well, maintaining more space can help prevent discomfort. By being mindful of personal space, you show respect for the other person's boundaries, which can foster trust and openness in the conversation. Adjusting based on emotional cues is crucial for building connections. As conversations unfold, you may notice shifts in emotions. For instance, if someone expresses frustration, it is essential to acknowledge their feelings and adjust your tone accordingly. You might respond with empathy and understanding, validating their experience rather than dismissing it. By doing so, you create a safe space for open dialogue, encouraging the other person to share their thoughts and feelings more freely. Moreover, emotional cues can guide you in determining the appropriate tone for your responses. If the conversation becomes lighthearted, matching that playful tone can enhance the overall atmosphere. Conversely, if the mood turns serious, adopting a more measured and thoughtful tone can show that you are taking the conversation seriously. By being flexible with your tone, you demonstrate your ability to connect with others and foster a deeper understanding of their perspectives. Ultimately, the ability to read the room and adjust your tone is a valuable skill in effective communication. By decoding nonverbal cues, understanding personal space, and adjusting based on emotional cues, you can create a more comfortable and connected atmosphere. This skill not only improves your conversations but also enriches your relationships, allowing for more meaningful connections with others. Embracing this practice can help you navigate various social situations with confidence and ease. Matching your tone for comfort is crucial in any conversation. The tone of your voice can greatly influence how your message is received. If you speak in a calm and friendly tone, it can help put others at ease. Conversely, a harsh or overly serious tone might make people feel uncomfortable or defensive. Being aware of the emotional state of the person you are speaking with can help you tailor your tone. For example, if someone seems stressed, using a gentle and reassuring tone can create a safe space for them to express their feelings. It is also important to be aware of your own tone. Sometimes we may not realize how our words can come across to others. Practicing self-awareness in your communication can make a significant difference. If you notice that a conversation is becoming tense, you can soften your tone to help ease the situation. By consciously adjusting your tone, you not only demonstrate empathy but also show that you are considerate of the other person's feelings. Gauging energy levels in the room is another essential skill for effective communication. Each person brings their unique energy to a conversation, which can change based on the context. For instance, a casual gathering might have a lively and upbeat energy, while a formal meeting may feel more serious and focused. Paying attention to the overall mood can help you adapt your approach. If you sense that the energy is low, you might want to bring more enthusiasm to your voice and expressions to engage others better. Conversely, if you find yourself in a high-energy situation where everyone is excited and animated, matching that energy can help you connect more deeply. This could mean speaking more animatedly or using more expressive gestures. When you align your energy with that of the group, it shows that you are present and engaged in the conversation. It creates a sense of harmony that can enhance communication and build rapport with others. Adjusting your language and formality for different settings is also crucial for clear communication. The way you speak can vary depending on the context. For example, speaking with friends may involve informal language, jokes, and casual expressions. In contrast, professional settings often require a more formal approach. Using industry-specific terminology and a respectful tone can demonstrate your professionalism and knowledge. It is also essential to consider your audience when choosing your words. If you are speaking to someone who may not be familiar with technical terms, it is helpful to simplify your language. This ensures that your message is understood clearly. Adapting your language to fit the situation allows you to connect better with others and makes the conversation more enjoyable. In social situations, being aware of your communication style can help you navigate various interactions with ease. Whether you are at a networking event, a family gathering, or a casual outing with friends, adapting your tone, gauging energy levels, and adjusting your language will enhance your communication skills. By practicing these techniques, you can create a more welcoming and engaging atmosphere that fosters meaningful connections with others. Embracing these skills will empower you to feel more confident in any conversation. Observing group dynamics is an essential skill for understanding how people communicate in various settings. When you enter a room, take a moment to observe the interactions happening around you. Notice who is speaking the most, who is listening attentively, and who seems disengaged. This observation can provide valuable insights into the group's mood and energy levels. For instance, if you see people laughing and animated, it indicates a positive atmosphere. On the other hand, if you notice crossed arms or frowns, it might suggest discomfort or tension. To become a better observer, practice being mindful during conversations. Focus on body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. These nonverbal cues can reveal a lot about how people are feeling. For example, if someone appears nervous or avoids eye contact, they might need encouragement to participate more actively. By paying attention to these signals, you can adjust your approach to make others feel more comfortable and engaged. Role-playing scenarios provide a fantastic opportunity to practice reading the room in a supportive environment. You can set up situations with friends or family where you can take turns acting out different social settings. For instance, you could simulate a job interview, a casual gathering, or a difficult conversation. While role-playing, pay attention to how your partner responds to your tone and energy. This exercise allows you to experiment with different communication styles and observe the reactions of others. During these scenarios, try to incorporate what you have learned about group dynamics. If you notice that your partner is becoming quiet or disengaged, practice shifting your tone or asking open-ended questions to draw them back into the conversation. Role-playing can also help you build confidence in adjusting your communication style based on the group's mood. The more you practice, the easier it will become to read and respond to various social cues in real-life situations. Reflecting on your adaptability is crucial for personal growth in communication. After engaging in conversations or role-playing scenarios, take some time to think about how well you adjusted to the environment. Did you match the energy of the room? Were you able to change your tone or language when necessary? Reflecting on these questions can help you identify areas for improvement. Consider keeping a journal to document your experiences and feelings during different social interactions. Writing down your thoughts can provide clarity and help you track your progress over time. As you reflect, also acknowledge the times when you successfully adapted to different situations. Celebrating these moments can boost your confidence and encourage you to continue practicing your skills. Remember, reading the room and adjusting your communication style takes time and effort. The more you practice these exercises, the more naturally they will come to you in everyday conversations. Incorporating these practical exercises into your daily life will enhance your ability to read the room and adapt your communication style. By observing group dynamics, role-playing various scenarios, and reflecting on your adaptability, you can develop essential social skills that foster meaningful connections. These exercises will not only help you feel more confident in conversations, but also make your interactions with others more enjoyable and fulfilling. Embrace these practices, and you will see significant growth in your social abilities. Chapter 8. Developing a conversation toolkit. Building a repertoire of topics is essential for having engaging conversations. One effective way to create this repertoire is to draw from your own interests. Think about the things you enjoy, such as hobbies, books, movies, or sports. These topics are often rich with personal stories and insights, making them great for conversation. When you share your interests, you invite others to share theirs, creating a connection based on mutual enthusiasm. Current events can also serve as excellent conversation starters. By keeping up with the news, you can find topics that are relevant and interesting to discuss. However, it is important to approach sensitive topics with care. Not everyone shares the same opinions, so be mindful of how you present your thoughts. Consider how the news affects people in different ways. This awareness will help you engage in more meaningful and respectful discussions. Shared experiences can create an instant bond between people. Reflect on moments that are likely to resonate with others. For example, if you are at a social event, you can talk about the venue, the food, or any activities happening there. These topics are neutral and can prompt others to share their own thoughts or experiences. When you focus on common ground, you create a friendly atmosphere that encourages open dialogue. Preparing topics for different situations is crucial for feeling confident in social interactions. Think about the types of events you often attend. Whether it is a casual gathering, a professional meeting, or a family reunion, tailor your topics to fit the setting. For a professional event, you might discuss industry trends or recent achievements. In a casual setting, lighthearted topics like favorite vacation spots or funny experiences can be more appropriate. By considering the context, you can engage others without feeling out of place. To ensure you are always ready with topics, create a mental list of go-to subjects. This list can be flexible, allowing you to adapt based on the people you are with. Regularly update your list as you discover new interests or experiences. For instance, if you read a fascinating article or watched an intriguing documentary, add it to your mental toolkit. This way, you can always draw from fresh material when engaging in conversation. Avoiding overused or predictable lines is equally important in keeping conversations lively. Clichés or common phrases can make discussions feel stale and unoriginal. Instead of relying on generic greetings like, "How are you?" try to ask more specific questions that show genuine interest. For example, you could say, "What has been the highlight of your week so far?" This type of question encourages more thoughtful responses and opens the door for deeper conversations. Being aware of the impact of your words can help you steer clear of predictable lines. Pay attention to what others say in conversations. If you notice a phrase that comes up often, consider finding a different way to express similar sentiments. The goal is to keep conversations engaging and authentic, allowing you to connect with others on a more personal level. This approach not only makes you a more interesting conversationalist, but also fosters a more enriching social experience for everyone involved. By building a repertoire of topics, preparing for different situations, and avoiding predictable lines, you can create a conversation toolkit that enhances your social skills. These strategies will empower you to engage in meaningful discussions, helping you feel more confident and connected with others. Embrace these ideas, and you will find that conversations can become more enjoyable and fulfilling. Using fallback questions is a practical technique for those moments when the conversation hits a dead end. These questions are pre-prepared prompts that can help you regain momentum when you feel unsure about what to say next. They can be simple and general, allowing you to navigate back to a comfortable topic. For instance, asking, "Have you seen any good movies lately?" or "What do you think about the weather?" can open up new avenues for discussion. The key is to make sure your fallback questions are open-ended, inviting more than just a yes or no answer. Fallback questions can be particularly useful in social situations where you may not know the other person well. They serve as a bridge to connect with them. If someone responds positively, it can lead to deeper discussions about their interests or experiences related to the topic. These questions can also help you discover common ground with the person, which can make the conversation more enjoyable for both parties. Another effective strategy is redirecting the conversation to shared interests. If you find a topic that resonates with both you and the other person, it can reignite the energy in your conversation. This could involve bringing up a common hobby, a favorite book, or even a recent event that you both attended. For example, if you discover that you both enjoy hiking, you might say, "I recently hiked a beautiful trail. Have you explored any trails around here?" This approach not only makes the conversation more engaging but also fosters a connection based on mutual interests. Being attentive to the other person's cues can help you identify shared interests more easily. If they mention something you are familiar with or passionate about, seize the opportunity to elaborate on it. You can ask follow-up questions to encourage them to share more. This not only shows your interest but also helps deepen the conversation. The more you focus on shared topics, the more comfortable both of you will feel in discussing them. Quickly shifting the spotlight can also alleviate the pressure when you feel stuck. If you sense that the conversation has become stagnant or awkward, try redirecting the focus to the other person. You can ask them about their recent experiences or opinions on a subject. A simple question like, "What do you enjoy doing in your free time?" can shift the attention away from you and give them the chance to share. This not only helps relieve any tension but also makes the other person feel valued and engaged. This technique is particularly effective in group settings, where different dynamics can emerge. If you notice someone in the group who seems quiet or left out, consider bringing them into the conversation. You might say, "I would love to hear what you think about this." This not only shifts the spotlight but also promotes inclusivity and encourages more voices to be heard. By using fallback questions, redirecting to shared interests, and shifting the spotlight, you can respond effectively when you feel stuck in a conversation. These techniques will help you maintain a comfortable and engaging dialogue, allowing you to connect with others more easily. With practice, these strategies will become second nature, empowering you to navigate conversations with confidence and ease. Practicing with low-stakes conversations is a great way to build your communication skills without feeling too much pressure. Low-stakes situations could be chatting with a cashier, making small talk with a neighbor, or talking to a friend about their day. These interactions are less formal and allow you to experiment with your conversation skills. They give you a chance to practice without worrying about the outcome. By starting with these simple interactions, you can gradually become more comfortable and confident in your ability to engage with others. In these low-pressure conversations, focus on applying the techniques you have learned. Try to use active listening by giving your full attention to the person speaking. You can also practice using open-ended questions to keep the conversation flowing. For example, instead of asking, "Did you enjoy the movie?" you could ask, "What did you think of the movie?" This encourages the other person to share more and helps you practice your skills in a real setting. Over time, these small practices will help you feel more at ease in larger conversations. Noting what works in your conversations is an important part of the learning process. After each interaction, take a moment to reflect on how it went. What did you do well? What parts of the conversation felt comfortable? Did you use any techniques that helped keep the dialogue engaging? Writing down your thoughts can help you identify patterns in your conversations and understand which strategies are effective for you. This reflection will also allow you to see your progress over time, which can be very encouraging. Alongside noting what works, it is equally important to identify areas for improvement. If you felt stuck during a conversation, think about what you could have done differently. Perhaps you could have asked a different question or redirected the topic to something more engaging. By recognizing these moments, you create opportunities for growth. This practice of self-assessment will guide you in your future conversations and help you become a more skilled communicator. Building confidence through consistent practice is essential for becoming a confident conversationalist. Just like any skill, the more you practice, the better you will become. Make it a goal to engage in conversations regularly, even if they are brief. This can help reinforce what you have learned and make you feel more comfortable in various social settings. As you gain experience, you will notice that your confidence grows. You will start to feel less anxious and more at ease when meeting new people or entering unfamiliar situations. It can be helpful to set specific goals for your practice. For example, aim to initiate one new conversation each week or try out a new technique during your next interaction. These small, achievable goals will give you a sense of accomplishment and motivate you to continue practicing. As you reach these milestones, celebrate your successes. Acknowledging your growth is vital to maintaining a positive mindset and building confidence. By practicing with low-stakes conversations, noting what works and improving, and building confidence through consistent practice, you can prepare effectively for real-life situations. These strategies will empower you to engage in meaningful conversations with ease. Remember that progress takes time, so be patient with yourself as you work towards becoming a more confident conversationalist. With dedication and practice, you will see growth in your communication skills, making it easier to connect with others in various social settings. Chapter 9: Real-Life Practice and Overcoming Anxiety. Breathing exercises are a simple yet powerful tool for managing anxiety. When you feel nervous, your body goes into a heightened state of alertness. This can lead to rapid breathing and a racing heart, making it difficult to focus on the conversation. To counteract this, try taking a few slow, deep breaths before entering a social situation. Inhale deeply through your nose for a count of 4, hold for 4 seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeat this several times. This technique helps calm your mind and body, allowing you to approach the interaction with a clearer head. Mental preparation is also essential when facing social situations. Spend a few moments before an event thinking about the context and the people you may meet. Imagine how the conversation could unfold and what topics might come up. Preparing yourself mentally can help reduce uncertainty and make you feel more confident. Additionally, think of a few conversation starters or questions you can use. Having these ready can ease anxiety and give you a sense of control over the situation. Breaking down interactions into small steps is another effective strategy. Instead of viewing a social event as one big challenge, think of it as a series of smaller, manageable tasks. For example, focus on simply walking into the room, saying hello to someone, or asking a question. By dividing the process into smaller parts, you can take each step one at a time. This approach makes the overall experience feel less overwhelming and allows you to celebrate each small success along the way. In a social setting, try to concentrate on the initial steps, such as making eye contact or smiling at someone. Once you feel comfortable with those actions, you can move on to more complex tasks like engaging in a conversation. Each small step builds your confidence and reduces anxiety, helping you feel more at ease in the interaction. Remember, every conversation is a chance to practice and improve, no matter how small the step may seem. Visualizing success in conversations can be a powerful tool for overcoming anxiety. Before attending a social event, take a moment to close your eyes and imagine yourself having a positive conversation. Picture yourself smiling, making eye contact, and engaging with others comfortably. Try to visualize specific scenarios, like asking someone about their interests or sharing a story. This mental rehearsal can help create a sense of familiarity, making the actual conversation feel less daunting. When you visualize, engage all your senses. Imagine not only what you will say, but also how the other person will respond. Visualizing a successful outcome can help change your mindset, allowing you to approach the interaction with confidence. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, focus on the positive connections you can create. This shift in thinking can significantly reduce anxiety and improve your overall experience in social situations. By incorporating breathing exercises and mental preparation, breaking down interactions into small steps, and visualizing success, you can effectively reduce social anxiety. These strategies will empower you to approach conversations with greater confidence and ease. Remember that overcoming anxiety is a gradual process. With practice and patience, you can build your skills and enjoy meaningful connections with others. Every small step you take brings you closer to becoming the confident conversationalist you aspire to be. Starting with low-stakes situations is a great way to build your confidence. These are interactions that do not carry much pressure or risk. For example, you can begin by asking someone for directions or the time. These small conversations help you practice engaging with others without the fear of judgment. You may be surprised by how easy it can be to connect with people in these simple exchanges. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will feel in social settings. When you approach someone to ask for directions, remember to smile and make eye contact. This small gesture can create a positive atmosphere and show that you are friendly. After receiving the information, try to express gratitude by saying thank you. This not only makes the other person feel appreciated, but also helps you practice ending a conversation on a positive note. Low-stakes interactions like this can serve as stepping stones to more meaningful conversations in the future. Once you feel more comfortable with low-stakes conversations, you can start to expand your social circles. This means seeking out new opportunities to interact with different groups of people. Join a club, take a class, or attend local events to meet new individuals. Expanding your social circles can provide you with a variety of experiences and perspectives, helping you become a more adaptable conversationalist. In these new environments, you may encounter people with different backgrounds and interests. This diversity can enrich your conversations and challenge you to adapt your communication style. Remember to be open-minded and curious. Asking questions about other people's hobbies or opinions can lead to engaging discussions. The goal is to create connections with new individuals while continuing to build your confidence in social interactions. Reflecting on each interaction is a crucial step in improving your conversation skills. After engaging in a social situation, take a moment to think about how it went. Consider what you felt comfortable with and what challenged you. Were there any parts of the conversation that you enjoyed? Did you feel nervous at any point? Reflecting on these moments allows you to identify your strengths and areas for improvement. You might find it helpful to keep a journal where you write about your experiences. Documenting your interactions can help you track your progress over time. Look for patterns in your thoughts and feelings. If you notice certain situations make you anxious, you can develop strategies to cope with those specific challenges in the future. Learning from each interaction will guide you as you continue to grow and develop your conversation skills. By starting with low-stakes situations, progressively expanding into new social circles, and reflecting on each interaction, you can effectively practice your conversation skills. Each step you take builds your confidence and prepares you for more significant social engagements. Remember, improvement comes with practice and reflection. Embrace the journey and celebrate your progress along the way. Keeping a journal is a powerful tool for tracking your progress. In this journal, you can write about your experiences in social situations, both big and small. Start by noting down your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Did you successfully start a conversation with a stranger? Did you share your opinion during a group discussion? These small victories are important and should be acknowledged. Recording them will not only boost your confidence, but also remind you of your capabilities when you feel anxious about future interactions. Alongside your wins, it is also helpful to write about the lessons you learn. Reflect on conversations that did not go as planned. What were the challenges you faced? How did you feel during and after the interaction? Understanding what went wrong can provide valuable insights. It will help you identify patterns or specific triggers that cause anxiety. By writing about these experiences, you can develop strategies to address them in the future. The act of journaling creates a space for self-reflection, allowing you to grow and improve continuously. Recognizing your growth is essential for building confidence. As you look back through your journal, you will likely notice patterns of improvement over time. Maybe you started with very short conversations and now find yourself engaging in longer discussions. This growth is something to be proud of. Celebrating milestones, no matter how small, can help you appreciate the effort you have put in. For instance, if you felt comfortable sharing your thoughts in a meeting, take a moment to acknowledge that accomplishment. Celebrating these moments can reinforce your belief in your abilities. You might consider setting up a reward system for yourself. This could be something simple, like treating yourself to your favorite coffee or taking a break to do something you enjoy. When you reward yourself for achieving a goal or overcoming a challenge, it creates a positive association with your progress. This practice can motivate you to continue pushing yourself in social situations as you begin to associate your efforts with positive outcomes. Setting goals is another effective way to foster continued improvement in your conversation skills. These goals should be specific, measurable, and achievable. For example, you might aim to initiate one new conversation each week or join a local group where you can meet new people. By setting clear goals, you create a roadmap for your progress. These goals will give you a sense of direction and purpose as you work to enhance your social skills. As you reach each goal, take the time to reflect on what you learned along the way. Did you encounter any unexpected challenges? How did you handle them? By thinking about your experiences, you will continue to build your confidence. Setting new goals based on your reflections will ensure that you stay motivated and keep moving forward in your journey to becoming a more confident conversationalist. In summary, tracking your progress through journaling, recognizing growth, and setting goals are crucial steps in building confidence. By celebrating your wins and learning from your experiences, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages you to continue improving your conversation skills. Remember that progress takes time and effort, so be patient with yourself. Embrace the journey and enjoy the process of becoming a master of small talk. In conclusion, developing strong conversation skills is a journey that requires practice, patience, and self-reflection. By utilizing the tools outlined in this chapter, you can effectively reduce social anxiety and enhance your ability to engage in meaningful conversations. Keeping a journal allows you to track your progress, celebrate your successes, and learn from your experiences, which are essential components of personal growth. Recognizing your achievements, no matter how small, helps to build your confidence and motivates you to keep striving for improvement. Each milestone you reach is a testament to your dedication and effort. Setting clear, achievable goals gives you direction and purpose, allowing you to progressively expand your comfort zone and enhance your communication abilities. Remember that everyone has their unique path to becoming a confident conversationalist. Embrace your journey and be kind to yourself as you navigate the challenges and joys of social interactions. With time and consistent practice, you will find that engaging with others becomes more natural and enjoyable. Ultimately, the skills you develop will not only enrich your social life, but also contribute to your overall well-being and personal growth. Embrace the art of conversation and enjoy the connections you create along the way.